My name is Peter Robinson. I'm President and CEO of the U.S. Council for International Business. We are a membership organization representing U.S. companies working in the global space. We are the U.S. affiliate of the International Organization of Employers, which work very closely with the ILO, and I am a vice president of the IOE. What we're seeing in the U.S. is the first priority on many of our parts was to ensure the safety of our own staff by closing our multiple offices and moving to a virtual platform, where I believe we've done and others have done a pretty good job in ensuring business continuity of services to members in terms of info flows, virtual member engagement, and development and advocacy. We've never been busier, and I think that goes for our member companies too. I think that a key objective on our part has been to support the activities of our international business affiliates, including the International Organization of Employers, as well as organizations like ILO, both of whom have been doing a tremendous job of facilitating virtual and wide-ranging discussions of pandemic-related issues. And as the IOE Vice President for North America, I was pleased to participate in last week's meeting with the ILO Director General to provide employer perspectives on key priorities of ILO's COVID-19 response plan. But I would say another priority has been to support international efforts to support those in precarious situations. And this is of greatest concern for more vulnerable economies in the developing world, where lives and livelihoods are being upended by the current pandemic, and where SMEs in particular deserve special attention. We in the IOE believe that ILO is a primary organization to be guiding the kinds and direction of financial support from governments and multilateral development banks to meet social protection needs, and thus want to be of whatever support we can in that effort. And here at USCIB, at my organization, we're also seized with the situation, recognizing that SMEs in developing countries represent not only fundamental components of national economies, but also the foundation for global supply chains that depend on them. And for that reason, we recently appealed to Secretary of State Pompeo in the U.S. to help ensure that COVID-19 funds being mobilized by multilateral development banks be directed to developing countries for needed social protection systems and programs to provide critical liquidity to maintain the financial viability of SMEs and sustain employment. So to prevent closures, to provide bridging support until operations can resume, and to provide technical assistance in restarting. Kind of hard to say what they are, and there will be more coming, I'm sure, but there are three that stand out in my mind, and I can explain each one. One, we are not going to be returning to a new normal. We'll be confronting a new reality. Two, the private sector will be an essential driver of economic recovery. It has already responded in an emergency way to provide relief, and it's gearing up with above and beyond activity and moving to a post-COVID world. And thirdly, COVID-19 knows no boundaries. It's a one-world enemy, and we need a one-world response. The one major lesson, I think, of this pandemic is reaffirmation that we are all global citizens of one world and that we are fighting against an enemy that knows no borders. So we must ensure that we join hands across borders and work together in a multilateral way on an economic recovery that is inclusive and then acknowledges the importance of maintaining the viability of vulnerable economies as well as stronger ones, because we're all as strong as our weakest link.